the Copa, Cabana, the hottest spot north of Havana. Here at the Cabana, music and passion were always the passion at the Copa. Bow! He fell in love. Hi, how are you? Been a while, been a minute. I'd like to say hello. Hello, I love you. Won't you tell me your name? So it's almost fall, y'all. I've been wanting to say that. Why? Because it's so dumb. Just feel happy fall, y'all. I have a haul, y'all. So dumb. But I don't know. I just wanted to say it. For those of you who are new year, hello. New year. New here. I got what y'all. For those of you who are new here, my name is Kiki. My husband and I have an online radio station. It is called Kiki.fm. We do lots of fun things. We actually, on Labor Day weekend, we broadcast a couple of really great bands that were performing on Johnson's Pond in Coventry, Rhode Island. And of course, then I got copyright stuff, which is fine. I didn't get strikes or anything, but I can't monetize the videos, which is fine because it's all good. The bands were great. We had a really good time. But boy, I'm getting old. Like there was a point in time I would have just stayed out all night. I would have just partied down, and then of course I'm leaving. Al's still there, and the gentleman whose beautiful home it was at, he's like, "Well, you leaving?" Yep. Go to bed. Going to bed. Like that is wrong. I never did that. I was such a party girl. Yeah. But it's all right. It's not right, but it's okay. I'm gonna make it anyway. It's just, it is what it is. I'm trying to get out of that. I want to be a party girl again. I really, Al and I have had these conversations. And I said to him, I think we really should be party people once again, not like in a bad way, not the whole, getting drunk, falling down type of party people, just party people going dancing, being like the old people you see on TikTok and, just having a great time in the nursing home. But we're not in the nursing home, like we're out in public. I want to do that. I just want to. And I'm trying. I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to a place of fun. We'll do it. What is this? This is on my desk. I don't know what this is. What is it? It looks I mean, if I don't know what this is. It's squishy, but I don't know what it is. It's for something. Anywho, I hope all of you are well, and let me know in the comments because I still can't see the comments. I thought I'd be able to by this point. I don't know how to do that. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't look it up today. I thought I would be able to see the comments, but I can't. So I'm still here. Yep, we're going to stay in the call. I'm on Google Meet, by the way. This works out pretty good. I actually love it because I'm here without any craziness. So it's good. Thank you, Google Meet. Thank you. I appreciate it so much. It's almost fall here in Rhode Island slash New England. Why is it when I say slash, I think of Slash from Guns N' Roses? Like all of the things that I think about relate to music, and it's really a problem sometimes. Oh, anyway, so I was out this morning taking Louis for a walk. By the way, can I just tell you? So it'll be, I think, a month today. Is it a month today that we had Louis at the vet, and the vet wanted us to put him down. And she said, if you don't put him down today, don't let him go another 24 to 48 hours, or else he'll be suffering. Well, he's running around. He's gained 4 pounds. He lost a lot of weight in a few days, like in a short amount of time. We really thought that was it. Al's like, it's not his time. And we just loved on him, hugged him, talked to him. And I'm telling you guys, it was a miracle. It was a total miracle. For real. Total miracle. So I just have to, whoever up there, I don't know. I cannot tell you. And I did a whole video on it. It's on my other channel at Kiki Room. I don't know. I can't even explain it, but all I can say is thank you, Jesus, for keeping my little buddy around. And he's thankful. He was looking at Al tonight going, "Man, thanks. Thanks, dude. Thank you so much." Like, he was literally, I know he was saying that to him. And then he was looking at me smiling going, "See, you were gonna listen to him, weren't you?" And I felt bad. I'm like, "I was going to. I mean, I was gonna listen to the vet. Like, I didn't know what to do." Like, you don't know what to do. Every situation's completely different, but let me tell you, this kid turned it around. It was, pretty amazing. I have to see if Al's, texting me because oh, okay. So he can see the comments. So if you have anything to say, you could say it in the comments. He'll text me. Like, isn't this sad? There's gotta be I know there's a way to see the comments from Google Meet and YouTube because they're in love right now. Google Meet is loving YouTube, but I just don't know how to do it. So I'm sorry. It is what it is. I just have a few stories to chat about tonight. Tanya, oh, hello to Tanya, Barry, Kathy, and Halise. Hi, everybody. How are you? Thanks so much for being here. I can't see you. Thanks, Al. At least I have a buddy. At least I have a love buddy to help me out in the comments section. Again, I hope all of you are doing great. We just have a little, a little small show with some music news tonight because I just wanted to. And I miss you guys so much. Anywho, let's go ahead. Let's move on to our first story. Sting. I couldn't even believe this. I saw this story and I'm like, nah, this cannot be real, but it's real. And this is from the New York Times.com. Sting is being sued by his former bandmates and the police. What a kick in the pants that is. How do you do? What is happening in our world today? Like, everybody's so pissed off at everything. Isn't it true? People are just mad, angry. Oh my gosh. I'm being a squirrel right now, but so there was like a cop chase near our house the other day. Boy, I'm really sounding like I'm from Rhode Island. I apologize. Let me just tone down the accent. There was a police chase near our home the other day. I have to pronounce my R's. That was like, I was really excited, so I just let it go. And the guy is still on the run, which is crazy to me. How can you not find him? Like, literally, we're a teeny tiny town. It's big, but it's small. Heard that before. So they still can't find the dude. That was like a chase, right? A total chase. And like, people, all right, he was driving like a maniac. I guess he was driving like a maniac, so they pulled him over, but he ran away. Like, he crashed into people, sent them to the hospital, and ran away. And Sue and I went yard sailing Saturday morning. We had so much fun. And by the way, I have to do a video on my haul, y'all. That'll be up in a few days. And we're driving, going to yard sales, like, two old ladies in the car, driving Miss Daisy. And people are maniacs. Like, why do people have to drive so fast and speed up behind you, get really close to your tail end, and they're going nowhere? And when they pass you because they're dumb, like, why do you really need to pass somebody unless you're on your way to the hospital? Really, there's an emergency. There's not an emergency in every car. I'm so not sorry. Then they pass you, and then they have another car in front of them that's going the speed limit like we are. So what are you going to do now? You're going to pass that car? Yep, they passed that car. Where are the police? Like, they're not seeing these people passing us all the time. It just drives me crazy. And so here we go. It turned into a whole accident, and now we have a dude on the loose, and I'm like, I can't. But anyway, just slow down. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, Sting is being sued by his former bandmates and the police. I still can't believe that. I just, another thing that makes me sad. So the band's drummer and guitarist say that Sting has underpaid them for the digital exploitation of certain songs like Every Breath You Take, and Sting's lawyers say that the claim is illegitimate like a child. No, they didn't say like a child. They just said illegitimate. How about just not true? Illegitimate. That just sounds wrong. It sounds wrong. Okay, so the police, they came about in 1977. The front man was Sting, as we know, and he agreed to pay his two bandmates 15% of some royalties that he earned from songs written for the group in an effort to keep things sweet among the three of them. Well, you got to pay them. They're your bandmates. So 15% of some royalties. I'm smelling some cheapness here, just saying. And that went on to say it didn't work. That's what the article went on to say. So some documents were made public this week, and the bandmates behind such songs as Every Breath You Take, Roxanne, and Message in a Bottle. That's a great song. They're in a legal dispute over whether Sting, his real name is Gordon Sumner. Does he look like a Gordon? I mean, I guess. He kind of looks like a Gordon, Sting does, but he looks more like a Sting. And they're saying that he has not given Stuart Copeland, the Police drummer, and guitarist Andrew Summers enough money. In other words, they want more cashola. So the lawsuit that was brought about by Copeland and Summers argues that Sting owes them arrangers' fees for income from the digital exploitation of the police's back catalog. And I cannot even imagine what that's worth. Well, the musicians are saying that Sting owes them over $2 million, which I'm thinking, now I'm just reading this now, I'm thinking it's way more than that. Let's just look up, how much is Sting worth? Not in pounds. I don't want to know how much he's worth in pounds. I don't know how much that is. So Sting is worth between 550 million and 600 million smackaroonies. So that means probably that's what, all right, let's wait a minute. Let's rephrase that. What is net worth of the police? Band. I got to put band in there because I don't want them telling me what every police officer is worth. So the police does not have a net worth because it is no longer a functioning entity, and its assets are dissolved or distributed among the members. Interesting. Whoa. Okay. The net worth reported by sources pertains to individual band members such as Sting. He has a personal net worth between 550 and 600 million. And the members' earnings from specific tours, like the 2008 reunion tour, grossed about 358 million. Now, this is interesting. I really had no idea. So, because the entity is dissolved, the business part of it ceases to exist. Wow. Any assets or income it had are distributed among the members or used to pay off debts. So this would be an interesting deep dive, I think. If anyone's watching, like a deep dive into the whole finances behind the police, because what happened? And the fact that they can now go back and sue Sting to, like, that's saying in excess of $2 million. It's got to be way more than that. If Sting's worth almost 600 million, you know that a good portion of that probably came from the police. Now, Sting had a phantasmic solo career. I get that. But a large part of that had to come from the police's success. Now, that reunion tour I was just talking about was the third highest grossing tour of all time at 358 million smackaroonies. It's a lot. It's a lot of guitar picks. Wow, that's crazy though. Really, that's crazy. Net worth calculations typically apply to individuals. While a band can generate significant revenue, the net worth is usually associated with its members who then manage their own finances. So what is net worth? Net worth of Stuart Copeland. Let's see. Let's see if it says. He's worth about 80 million. Andy Summers. Hold on. He's going to be worth around the same, right? Andy Summers' net worth is said to be about 15 million. As a founding member of the police, that's crazy. That doesn't seem right to me. Does it? 15 million for Andy, the guitarist. 80 million for Stewart, the drummer. 600 million for Sting, the lead singer. Something smells really weird. Wow. Oh, this is got to go deeper. I'm just saying. There's something here. This has got to blow the gasket off something. All right, so Sting's legal team submitted to the court that Sting has paid his former bandmates correctly and that all three of them signed an agreement in 2016 to draw a line under previous disputes around the arrangers' fees. And Sting's lawyers called the current legal action an illegitimate attempt to reinterpret that document. So an administrative hearing is taking place in January. That'll be 2026. Holy mackerel. And a representative for both Copeland and Summers declined an interview. And Sting's rep did not respond to a request for a comment. So the police were around for 7 years. They were one of rock's biggest bands. They won 6 Grammys, sold tens of millions of records, and the band members were always at loggerheads, it says. Well, I haven't heard that in a long time. And Sting said in 2007, "We fought cat and dog over everything." But at their reunion tour in 2008, which was a year after that comment, Sting joked on stage at MSG in New York that the real triumph of the bands getting back together was that we haven't strangled each other. Why am I thinking Hall and Oates right now? Why? I don't know. John Oates, I want to talk to you. I just do. I love you and I want to talk to you. So hopefully that happens before the end of this year. I'm hoping. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. It's out in the universe now. We'll see what happens. All right. So on Spotify, the group has 36 million monthly listeners, and the service's users have streamed Every Breath You Take, which is about a romantic obsession over someone. They have streamed that over 2.8 billion times. And BMI reported in 2019 it had become the most performed song in the organization's catalog of 14 million musical compositions. That's insane. So, dude, they are making so, all right. So if streaming is making all of that money, I mean, we know the artists really aren't making all that much from streaming, but so what happens? Because the band is dissolved, do they still get money from all of this? Interesting. I don't know. I would like to know. It's a good question. Because the band is dissolved, does it just go into a pot in Sting's pocket? I don't know. I don't know. Like who owns all the rights to the police? Let's look it up. I mean, we're here. We're here. Who owns the rights to the police? Let's see. UMG, Universal Music Group, purchased Sting's songwriting catalog, including songs he wrote for the police back in 2022. They also hold ownership of the band's recorded output. So My guess is they get nothing. UMG gets it all, right? Because Sting sold everything. Universal Music Group acquired the rights to the songs and the band's recorded music. So back in 2022, Universal Music Group. Wow. And I probably won't be able to read this, but I'm going to try it. Yeah, I can't. Of course not. It's Rolling Stone. They make you pay. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. Anyway, if you know anything, put it in the comments down below. Let me take a quick Al check and see if he said anything. Oh, he just, okay. All right. So he didn't. So there we go. So back to Sting. Let's see. So Sting sold his songwriting catalog for $300 million back in 2022. And Sting has the sole songwriting credit for the band's biggest hits. Damn. Copeland and Summers say that in 1977, the band members verbally agreed that each would share with the others 15% of publishing income from any song they wrote for the band. Money from sales of sheet music or from cover versions was exempted, Copeland and Summers said. But Sting wrote most of the band's hits. And in 1981, the guys formalized that arrangement in a bunch of written agreements. They were revised in 1997, a year after Copeland and Summers wrote to the police's lawyer, saying that they were eager to find the original contract as they believed they had been underpaid for a considerable period. Now, that was in 1997. Wow. So in 2016, legal documents say the band signed a new agreement after a dispute over whether Sting should pay his former bandmates a share of publishing income from the police's songs being used in TV shows and movies. And that's a big thing, right? That's a big thing today. I mean, you're a band from the 80s or 70s or whenever, and your song gets used in one of these brand new shows. You are golden. Kate Bush running up that hill to the bank. Like she cashed in big time with that. And that was a total shocker, I think, to her. Let's see. And she owns that song. Owns it all herself. So she did. How much did she make on that? Let's see. Let's take a look. How much? All right. How much did Kate Bush make from Stranger Things? She earned an estimated 2.3 million in streaming royalties between May and June of 2022 alone. So in those 2 months, she made 2.3 million for running up that hill. And she continues to earn money from the song's resurgence through streaming, digital sales, and radio play because she owns the copyright to her own recordings. And we're going to talk about that and what's happening with that to someone in a few minutes. My gosh. So I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing how this Sting thing plays out because, you hear a lot of this. And I feel like Prince could have, I mean, I'm not saying that about Prince, okay? So just don't come at me. But I do think he was one of those artists that didn't pay for some things that maybe he should have. Just saying. I'm just saying. And I think he got away with it and he made a lot of money. Millions and millions and millions of dollars. And there were people over here that probably should have made some money as well, but they did not because he owned everything. We're gonna say, I'm really gonna follow that because I'm quite interested. Moving on to Robert Plant. Now he was asked to perform at Black Sabbath's Back to the Beginning farewell tour for Ozzy's final performance before he passed. But Robert Plant said, no, I'm not going to do it. Tony Iommi invited him, And Robert said, I said, "Tony, I'd love to come, but I can't come. I just can't. I'm not saying that I'd rather hang out with Peter Gabriel or Yusu Endor. Who's that? I don't know. But I don't know anything about what's going on in that world now at all. I don't decry it. I've got nothing against it. It's just I found these other places that are so rich." What does that mean? What is he talking about? What do you mean? This is your buddy. Is it were they I mean, they put Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, all the same time. What does that mean? You I just found these other places that are so rich. What places? Where you going? Where you going, Robert? I'm confused. So he said, "I just can't." So there was this interview, I guess Robert did. Let's see, who did he do it with? Um, he did a new interview with Mojo. And let's see, at another spot in the interview, Robert opened up more about his current perspective on gigging, which may have in part informed his decision to not attend a show as large as Back to the Beginning, which, over 40,000 people were there and about 5 million people were watching via live stream. You know, it ends up it's the biggest charity event of history, and he wasn't a part of that, which is just kind of crazy. And let's see. He also said, "For me, because I've been from a very questionable Live Aid to the O2 to Obama in the White House and all those things, I was beatified." Sorry, I'm lost. "I felt the tug of doing this. Saving grace needed just to move up on up in glory. As Mavis Staples would say, we've got to be very careful now that we make sure it stays closer to Bert Jansch than Axl Rose," the artist explained. I'm completely lost. I have no idea what he's talking about. If you do, that's great. I don't know what he said. He continued to say the gigs are small enough so that if nobody wants to go, it's not the end of the world. And so by having that laissez-faire, easygoing, whatever it's called, attitude, instead of doing the football stadium with some old mates, there it was. We were free. We could mess about. That just doesn't make sense. I mean, like, this was for, a guy, an icon that I'm sure Led Zeppelin shared the stage with a few times. Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath. Let's see. How many times play together? Let's see. They played together at least 2 times in 1971 in Syracuse and Rochester, New York. They also had an impromptu jamming session in 1972 at Record Plant Studios in LA. All right, so maybe 3 times they played together. Still, for gosh sakes, you're in the same time zone. You're in the same musical era, the same genre. I just don't get it. And all of the artists that performed at Ozzy's farewell concert, Back to the Beginning, I mean, you had Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Youngblood, just Steven Tyler, he was there as well. It's just kinda sad that he wasn't part of that amazing, iconic, historical it became a historical event. So after Ozzy passed away, Robert wrote on his X page, "Farewell, Ozzy. What a journey. Sail on up there, finally at peace. You truly changed the planet of rock." He changed the planet of rock, yet Robert didn't wanna play his event. Kinda weird. I don't know. This is kinda funny, though. He Ozzy once accidentally sent Robert Plant a text message that said, "I can't find the cat." Oh my gosh. And let's see. I don't know. That's about it. That's I That's too bad. That's really too bad. So Robert Plant turned down playing the Ozzy tribute performance because he didn't know anything about what's going on in that world right now, and he wanted to pursue other rich musical projects. It's a shame. Really a shame. Whatever. All right. So Roger Waters and Jack Osborne. Oh boy, Jack went after Roger big time. Big time. And Ozzy fans were coming after Roger in a big, ginormous way. I guess Roger Waters went after Ozzy's career. I just don't understand. Let's see. Roger was on an episode of the Independent Inc. podcast, and the co-founder of Pink Floyd criticized Ozzy Osbourne's legacy, and this is what Roger said. Ozzy Osbourne, who just died, bless him, in his whatever that state he was in his whole life, we'll never know. Although he was all over the TV for hundreds of years with his idiocy and nonsense. The music, I have no idea. I could give an F. I don't care about Black Sabbath. I never did. I have no interest in wah and biting the heads off chickens or whatever they do. I couldn't care less, said Roger. And we all know that Ozzy passed on July 22nd at the age of 76. And we all know that Ozzy has bitten the head off of a couple of live things while he was on stage. And Jack Osborne went after Roger in a big, ginormous way. And on September 2nd, on Jack's Instagram stories, and I saw this and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. Jack said, "Hey, Roger Waters, F you. How pathetic and out of touch you've become. The only way you seem to get attention these days is by vomiting out bull in the press. My father always thought you were a C word. Thanks for proving him right." And then Jack ended it with the hashtag F Roger Waters. I mean, really, like, not for anything. Ozzy had just passed, right? And Roger had to come out and say those things. You really, and nobody's going to buy that. No one's going to take Roger's side. No one's going to say, oh, Roger, woo, raise the roof. Thank gosh you said it. No, because Ozzy was a legend, an icon, and it's just not going to happen. So I don't know what the man was thinking by saying that. Hi, Howard. How are you? Everybody say hi to Howard and visit your local Michael's arts and crafts stores and, tell everybody you love Howard. Tell management that you love Howard and he deserves to run Michael's arts and crafts. And I'm sure he's got lots of great stories to tell us about Halloween items that have come in, but they're probably all sold out by now. I mean, it is what, September 8th. So I'm sure all of the Halloween stuff is gone. Yeah, so Roger Waters, kind of a ding dong for saying that stuff. And Jack was pretty mad. And also, Jack said to people.com, he revealed the moment he found out about his dad's death. No one had expected it. And he posted a YouTube video on Wednesday, September 3rd. Let's see, he said, I woke up in LA to a knock on my house door around 3:45 a.m. in the morning. Oh my gosh. Someone who has worked for my family for probably 30 years was knocking on my door. And when I looked through my window and I saw it was him, I just knew something bad had happened. I was informed that my father had passed. And Jack said he immediately felt sadness and pain, so many thoughts. There was a level of like, okay, he's not suffering anymore. He's not struggling. And That is something. Jack also said, I wish he was still here. I wish he was still with us all, but he was having a rough go. And I think people saw that at the show. No one expected it to happen as quickly as it did. And when it did, it was not anything that was on our radar, which, you go back and think, okay, well, Kelly had said, remember, she responded to a fan comment and said, my dad's not going anywhere. He's fine. So I guess it really was a surprise, but yet not a surprise because we all knew that Ozzy had been struggling for years. I mean, he's been ill for quite some time. So the poor family is just, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine the family, of course, is devastated. But what Sharon did for Ozzy is really just mind blowing. It really is. It truly is. And the fact that Sharon did that event, created that event, put that event together, made that 9+ hour event happen while taking care of her husband and knowing what potentially was at the end and that this was his goodbye to the world, really. And then it becomes the biggest, best fundraiser concert of all time ever. And then her husband passes away, a few weeks later. I cannot even imagine, first of all, the strength that she has. Second of all, what she's going through now and the family, of course. But Sharon, you really got to give it to her. I mean, the woman knows business, the woman knows family, and she's got it down. She knows what to do. So blessings definitely to all of them. We're talking about Sting getting sued by his former police bandmates, which is just crazy even saying. Well, imagine owning a song, co-writing a song that is, you know, at the top of any wedding set list, any line dance, any conga line, and you can't trademark your own song. It's yours, but you can't own it. Imagine the angst. Well, that's what's happening with Barry Manilow right now. This is from Billboard.com. Barry Manilow, Copa Cabana trademarks blocked because a famous New York City nightclub owns the name. It's not funny. I'm not laughing. It's not a laughing matter. It's just insane to me how these things can happen. So I guess he's been trying for years to get the trademark to Copacabana. Now, of course, I can't read this because you got to pay for Billboard as well. So let me go ahead and see if I can read it on something else, and I think I can. We can go to nope, because that's on X, and they're not going to let me do it there either. Can't trademark. Come on, I got to be able to read it somewhere. All right, let's see. Nope, no one's going to let me read it. You know what? I'm going to try X again. Let's see. Let's see if it'll let me in. Let's see if I can go through the back door. Let's see. Nope, it's not going to let me read it. Gosh dang it. For gosh sakes, you try to do a news story and you can't because they want you to pay for it. Come on. Somebody had to write about it somewhere else. Nope. Nope, that was the only story. Can you believe it? Well, let's talk about Copacabana. So Copacabana was written by Jack Feldman, Bruce Sussman, and Barry Manilow. So it was a three-way. A three-way songwriting event. It just sounds so wrong on so many different levels, but it's not because it's a great song. Hold on. I'm going to try this again. I got to try this. Somebody else had to have written about it. Give me a break. Lawsuit. Come on. Come on. Okay. All right. So here we go. We're just going to do the AI version. Whatever. So Barry Manilow has been attempting to trademark Copacabana over and over and over and over again, but the New York City nightclub with the same name says, yeah, it's not happening. Now, Barry also has a lawsuit against his former music catalog buyer, Hypnosis Songs Fund, because he says that they allegedly failed to deliver promised marketing, like a TikTok trend, and for unpaid bonuses and other suits, as the one involving Osvaldo and Solto against Booking.com for alleged unlawful trafficking in the Copacabana property. Yeah. Well, that's another thing going on. Wait a minute. What is that all about? Now, see, here we go. Osvaldo Soldo? So what is going on here? I didn't even know that was a thing. Why am I whispering? Like all of you can hear me, all three of you. What? What is going on? Osvaldo Soto, he died. He died at 91 in 2021. But what is this about? Bookings.com. I still don't know why. Sue and I do that all the time. We start whispering to each other in the car. No one can hear us. I don't understand why that is a thing. Well, Booking.com. Oh, this is bad. So the Soto family owns several business ventures throughout Cuba, including the famous oceanfront Copacabana Hotel 2, located in Havana, Cuba. The Copacabana was inaugurated in 1955, and after Fidel Castro seized power and established a communist government in Cuba in 1959, the Copacabana was confiscated along with the Soto family's other properties and business ventures in 1961. This forced the Soto family to flee their native country to the United States. So they seized the Copacabana from the Soto family, and together with the Cuban government and the defense, Soto family, without paying them any compensation, defendants continue to offer the Copacabana to Floridians throughout their interactive websites, targeting Floridians, marketing campaigns in Florida. All right, so this is Florida. I don't know what's happening. So Soto has been injured by defendants trafficking in the Copacabana. I shouldn't say that word. Without his permission or without paying him any compensation. So he's mad. He was mad because they were there without his permission and they didn't give him any money for it. What the fuck is this? Like, wait, I'm just reading that, kids. I don't know anything. It's all alleged. Wow. This is all right. So there's more to that. I'm not going to dig into all that right now. But so Barry Manilow versus the Copacabana nightclub. So who owns the Copacabana nightclub? We gotta look at that. Who owns the Copacabana night? Hi Gina, how are you? Thank you, Al. Al, you're the best. Like you are the best associate. He's like the owner. All right, so Copacabana nightclub. It's existed in several locations. Uh Danny Thomas, Pat Cooper, Martin Lewis, a whole bunch of people have performed there. And it says Barry Manilow's song Copacabana from 1978 is named after and actually set in the club. Lots of movies were filmed in the Copacabana. So who owns it? Okay. All right. So forget the Cuban stuff. I don't know what that was about bookings.com with that other Soto family. But the Copacabana was named after Copacabana Beach in Rio de Janeiro, opened on November 10th of 1940. That's my wedding anniversary with Al, and that was opened at 10 East 60th Street in New York City. Okay. Oh. Ooh. So the name Monty Proser was on the lease, but he had a partner who was in the alleged Maha B. Frank Costello. And let's see, Proser was a native Englishman and he was a well connected nightclub owner and press agent. And Costello put Jules Podell on the scene to look after his interests because he was in the I don't even know if I can say that word. Okay, it's like there's so many things. You know what I mean? Podell had a police record and would not have been an acceptable frontman for the business. The club had tax problems allegedly and racketeering allegedly. An investigation started in 1944, but by 1948 the pressure had lessened. Proser was out. Podell was the official owner. So Jules Podell, he was looking out for Costello, but he was put in there originally by the guy, the big guy. We miss you too, Gina. Love you. Hope you're doing well, honey. Hope you're doing great, actually. Hope you're doing well, great, and amazing, because you are well, great, and amazing, Gina. Hearts and lovies. All right, let's see. The Copacabana menu mainly featured Chinese food. I would think it would feature Cuban food, no? But it was Chinese food. They had the Copacabana girls, and starting in 1945, it had lots of big band music peeps there. And WOR radio network would broadcast live at the Copacabana. And let's see. And then we head into the 1960s, and until 1972, Joe Gallo from the he operated the Copacabana. Jules Podell died in 1973. It was closed for 3 years, reopened in 1976, 2 years before Barry Manilow came out with the song. And this was at the height of the disco era, and it operated as a discotheque. And then Barry's song came out in 1978 at the Copacabana. And it was about the club. And the song later became the basis for the made-for-TV film in which Barry himself starred. And as of February 2021, it was not known how much of the film shooting used it as an actual location. So I guess that's a problem now, right? So in 1992, the club moved from its original location to 617 West 57th Street. And they did not like certain types of individuals. It seems at this club, they were not inclusive, I will just say, which is kind of crazy. And then the club moved for a third time in 2001 to 560 West 34th Street and 11th Avenue on the west side of Manhattan, where when its landlord terminated its lease early to build office towers on the site. Since then, it has presented mostly hip-hop and salsa acts. And in 2007, the club said it would have to move by July 1st because the current location was being condemned. Let's see. June 30th of the same year was the last night the club was open. Club reopened in 2011. Club was sharing space with the Columbus 72 nightclub, which shares the same owners. Okay, so let's move down here. On May 26th of 2020, the club announced that it had closed due to everything closing in 2020, and it planned to reopen in 2021 at another location. It eventually reopened in February 2022 at 625 West 51st Street under the direction of Ruben Cabrera. Okay, so there you go. There's your little rundown of the Copacabana nightclub. So here we come together and talk about Barry's issue with the Copacabana nightclub. He's been trying for years to get federal trademarks for Copacabana, but the real New York City nightclub has just blocked the efforts. They're like, you're not doing it. You're not getting it. You're not getting it because they've had the name for decades. And the owners of this nightclub, they keep saying, no, Barry, you're not going to trademark the name Copacabana because it's our name and they've had it trademarked and they've been using it since the 1980s. So then Barry is also suing Hypnosis Songs Fund because they promised to generate a Copacabana dance trend on TikTok and market a Copacabana drink kit as part of the deal for his music catalog, but they failed to deliver. Well, geez, any of us can start a TikTok trend. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll start one and I will get 2 people to follow me. DG will follow me and she'll get in on the Copacabana TikTok trend and nothing will happen, but we'll try. Okay, we'll try to get a Copacabana TikTok trend going. I don't know what I'm going to do. So the fact that Barry Manilow cannot trademark his own song, even though he co-wrote it with 2 other gentlemen, is ridiculous. Gina, thank you so much. You keep us here, and Kiki.fm on the air. So we thank you so, so much, Gina. That was weird, but thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. It's very, very sweet, Gina. Thank you. Thanks, Al. Thanks to my associate Al for telling me. Let's pinch the unknown thing. Wait, 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 wait. That's like the love bell. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't even know what he's going to say. Stop doing that. Don't touch that. It's important. Let's see. Copacabana appeared in the soundtrack album of the film Foul Play. It was on his 5th album, Even Now, in 1978. Even Now. That was a great song, too. God, I'm going to go listen to that. Let's see. Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl with yellow feathers in her hair and a dress cut down to there. She would merengue and do the cha-cha. And while she tried to be a star, Tony always tended bar across the crowded floor. They worked from 8 till 4. They were young and they had each other. Who could ask for more at the Copa? Copacabana. The hottest spot north of Havana. Here at the Copa. Copacabana. Music and passion were always the fashion at the Copa. Bow. They fell in love. Right? Great song. I mean, just so fun. Copacabana. Let's see. How many records sold? Let's see. Over 1 million copies. It seems like they would sell way more than that. I feel like that's not a proper number, right? I think that's wrong. I feel like that's just way wrong. Howard Radio knew Lola was a showgirl. Did you know Lola, Howard? Did you know? I bet he knew. I bet he dated a Lola. You look like you dated a Lola, Howard. I bet. Let's see. Copacabana, how much money did it make? How much money do Copacabana make? Let's see. No, the song, Copacabana song, not the movie in 1945. The exact earnings of the song Copacabana are not publicly available, but the song was a significant success, becoming Manilow's first gold single and winning a Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Performance for a male, solidifying its financial and cultural impact. I mean, doesn't it feel like it sold way more than 1,000,000 records? I That just doesn't seem right. I don't know. And honestly, let's be real here, right? Can you just imagine, you write the song that probably helped the nightclub become even a bigger success because of your song, yet you can't trademark but as I'm talking about it, it's a hard one. That's kind of a hard one because the Copa Cabana's been around since the '40s. So, d you know, but it's tough on Barry because 'cause he's been trying to do this for years. So that's kind of a hairy one, I will say. Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for Barry, but then again, I can completely, they've had that Copa Cabana name for years and years and years. Let me just check my associate Al to see if he has said anything else. I don't think so. I don't think Al has said anything else. I think, oh, wait a minute. Um, oh, okay. Radio Howard says a three-way is nice. Yep. Okay. That's great for you. And oh, that's Al said, "This is the inside of my microphone. Keep squeezing it." Why though? I don't. If it should be inside my, shouldn't it be in there? Oh, now he's gonna get mad. I'm jiggling the microphone. I can't win. That's it. I'm gonna get yelled at now. Anyway, so before we head out, I will see you guys again soon. I know when I say it, I'm like, I gotta keep doing this, but we had a lot going on with little Louie. It was kind of emotional, not kind of. It was it's been very emotional. Very emotional. I what can I say? I'm a human being. I mean, I just we went through a lot the last few weeks. I mean, the fact that my dog is still standing and he's gained all of his weight and then some back. If you want to hear the story, it's on my other channel at Kiki Room about Louis and the miracle and stuff like that and what we're feeding him now. And I'm telling you, it's kind of really crazy. Sometimes, and again, I don't want to throw shade at our vet because I really, we've been going there since, well, for 25 years, we've been going there and I love them. I do. But I think sometimes, you really do have to go with your gut. And no matter what it is, you really have to kind of trust what your insides are saying to you. And Al's insides were screaming, we're not doing this right now. And his insides were right. So sometimes, you know, our medical community is not God. And God bless them, really, most of them. God, really, thank you for what you do. But sometimes, not everybody's right about everything. You cannot possibly be. So if you're interested in the story, and now what we're feeding Louie, it's in that video on my other channel. So anyway, on this day in 1988, here are the top 10 songs. It's kind of crazy. I love doing this because it's like this is what we were listening to. Now in 1988, did I had yeah, I had just met Al. I had just met Al because then we got married in 1990. So this is the time when I just met the dude, just met the man. Like we were hot for each other, baby. You know what I'm saying? We're still hot for each other, but this was the time. Don't touch. He said don't touch, but I've been squeezing it all night. All right. So here we go. Here is what was on our radios this time, this date, November 8th. I'm looking at the date in 1988. So crazy. At number 10, this is nuts. Nobody's Fool, which was the theme from Caddyshack 2. I was a Caddyshack 1 girl. Let's be honest, I was not really I'm not really a cover band girl. I know. And I was never really a sequel girl. Think of Dirty Dancing. No bueno. Number 1 was great. Number 2, no. How about how about Saturday Night Fever, and then they came out with Staying Alive? I still watch Staying Alive with John Travolta and was it Cynthia Rhodes? But it was not as good as Saturday Night Fe they tried to make the thing and then Grease 2? No. It was so bad. I couldn't even as a teenager, I couldn't watch it. 'Cause Grease 1 was so amazing, and I had watched it so many times. Michelle Pfeiffer was in Grease 2, and I can't remember the dude that was in it. Oh, September. I said November 8th? It's September 8th. It's late, dude, I'm tired, okay? September on this date, so September 8th, 1988. No, we were married in November, 2 years later, I said. That's what I said. So 2 years later, in 1990, in November of that year, we were married, whatever. Anyway, on this date in September of 1988, at number 10, Nobody's Fool, theme from Caddyshack 2 by Kenny Loggins. Tanya graduated high school in 1988. So you're the baby of the bunch, Tanya. At number 9, Don't Worry, Be Happy from Bobby McFerrin, and that was from the movie Cocktail with Tom Cruise. Shut up. I literally did not even know that. That's been a long time. And number 8, If It Isn't Love, Why Does It Hurt So Bad? Make Me Feel So Sad Inside. New edition, If It Isn't Love, at number 8. And number 7, I love her. I love her even more. At number 7, I'll Always Love You by Taylor Dane. I won't even attempt to do that. At number 6, You Got a Fast Car. Na, 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 na. I never knew what she was saying. Never knew. I remember you were driving in your car. Speed so fast, I felt like I was drunk. I was literally just singing that today. I had no idea I was picking this. That's so weird. See how things happen? Fast Car by Tracy Chapman at number 6. At number 5, When It's Love by Van Halen. At number 6, I didn't like this song too much. Monkey by George Michael. I wasn't a fan. I just wasn't, but I love George Michael. At number 3, Perfect World by Huey Lewis and the News. Another, not one of my favorites. At number 2, this was a great one. Simply irresistible. She's so fine. Everybody's telling everybody when. I forget. I don't know what. Robert Palmer. He did that with the late Robert Palmer. And at number one on our radios, This Day in 1988. Sweet child. Yeah. Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, not Guns and Roses, Guns N' Roses. Yeah. Crazy, right? Great time. But there are some songs on here I was not a fan of. However, most of them, yes. A couple of them, not so much, but it's okay. Great year. Because that, yep, I'm still here. Because then I met and married Al 2 years later in that November. Oh, thank you, Tanya said my interview with Taylor Dane was amazing. Thank you so much. And I really hope I get to talk to her again soon. Like I said, just been a little bit crazy and, hopefully she'll remember me and talk to me. But how would she? She's so busy. The lady is so busy and she's so incredible. Guys, if Taylor Dane performs near you, I'm telling you, go see her show. It was beyond what I expected. You want to talk about an artist who is I think she's just as great as she was back in the day. I'm not even kidding. Like she's one of the I think of John Waite. His voice is still on par, beautiful, perfect. His show is, oh my God, he's so good. Like he's just so perfect. Can I just say that? And Taylor Dane, same. Her show was just incredible. Oh, I loved it so much. I had no you don't know. I'd never seen her. So, it was just beyond my expectations. I love her. I will see her again and again. Hopefully she comes somewhere near me soon, if it's next summer, whatever. The woman is just absolutely incredible. What a great, fantastical entertainer. So guys, I hope you're having a great week. I hope your week started off great. I hope that the week ahead is awesome. The weather in Rhode Island, oh my gosh, it's just so crisp. How else can I say it? It's just crisp. The leaves are starting to fall. People are eating apples like there's no tomorrow. I saw lots of pumpkins in carriages at Market Basket 2 days ago, which was quite disturbing, yet kind of fun at the same time. And white pumpkins are a thing. White and yellow pumpkins. Yellow pumpkins, I had never seen those, but they're a thing now, I guess. I I'm gonna get an orange pumpkin. I'm just an old school type of gal. All right, guys. I love you, love you, love you. Please listen to Kiki.fm, the free app. Gina, Thomas, thank you so much. Tanya, Patty Taylor, Deej. Thank you guys for all of your support. Everyone who's here watching, thank you, thank you, thank you. Kurt Andrews, hello. Thank you guys. Thank you for your support all the time. I just I can't thank you enough because you always show up. You're always here. Even if you're not here when I'm here, you're here later. So I appreciate all of you. Barry, Nancy, everybody, whoever's here. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are the best. Give yourself a big hug. And I love you, love you, love you. And I hopefully will see you soon. Bye, guys. Now we got to figure out how to turn this off. This is like, oh, here we go. I just hit this button. I'm just going to hit this button. Okay. All right. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye.